Okay, so we're going to go over a quick review of my day hiking bag. That's my caving robot. We'll get to that in a minute. Oh, his antenna's down. Let's fix that really quick. We'll get to that guy soon. So this is the bag I use for my day hikes. I know it looks a little extreme. Some of it I take off depending on where I'm going. For example, the Beretta CO2 powered pellet gun doesn't come with me all the time. It's just there for show right now. This, my knife wrapped in paracord. This comes with me everywhere. It's part of the bag now. Climbing rope, because you never know when you're going to need it. Sorry for the quality, it's first video. Climbing rope, in case you need it. My brother and I, every time we go out, we usually look for new places to climb and explore, hence the caving robot. Once again, this guy doesn't come with us everywhere we go. Solar panel, just in case. We'll open up the first little pack here. So this is our charging station. We have a couple power banks. A little 4,000 mAh power bank. 2500, sorry. USB, Type-C, and that's it for that pouch. So moving on forward, let me just take this out, make it easier here. Loosen that up. I'll come in here. This is the cooking pouch, so I keep my rock salt in there, my pink Himalayan sea salt, little cooking pot, my compass, whistle, and it currently has Tylenol in it, Advil, depending on distances. Mylar blanket, just in case. Little stirring stick, and that's that. Let's move into the third pocket here. So in this one we have fire starter. We have our Remington saw. We'll get to everything in detail in a bit. Multi-screwdriver, you never know. Pen. Binoculars. Let's stick that there for now. Some more cordage. This is some whitener, sugar, tea bags, and instant coffee. Ferro rod for starting fires. Okay. Now let's unclip the solar panel. Excuse me for 1 second. This guy here. Okay. Oh, I actually left a bottle of distilled water from our last hike. Oh yeah, so little tip, always go through your bag when you get home. I know sometimes we're tired and forget to, but yeah, it's a mess. So our little hat here with 2 LED lights, first aid kit. What else do we got? Compass, and full body suit. That's another caving item there, and that's it. Flashlights on the side here. We have a couple of them. Oh, apparently we only have one on here this time. A little homemade machete. My brother made me that years ago. It's been with me every hike. We do have other packs depending on the trip. Sorry for the shoddy gear cupboards. Like I said, we just got back from a hike not long ago, so I haven't had a chance to really clean. And yeah, let's go into some detail about these things. Okay, so let's go over some of this gear here. Let's open up our first aid kit. it's a little jam-packed. So to start things off, we have a little survival watch paracord compass. It has a whistle on it here, a little knife blade, and a ferro rod built in. Not bad. I picked this up on Amazon years ago. Unfortunately for this watch, I can't give it a good review because as a survival watch, it unfortunately isn't waterproof. So that got damaged instantly. But everything else is functional. Clorox wipes. I'm not going to go through everything in here. Everyone knows what a Band-Aid is. At least I would hope so. Clorox wipes. Some tape. Suture kits. So I have multiple different first aid kits in each bag, and each one has different stuff. So for example, the big guy there is I can't remember what's in that one. Suture kit, casting kits, a whole bunch of stuff. This one's just basic first aid. I do have a suture kit in this one, I believe. Yes, I do. And sterile everything else, sterilizer, alcohol wipes, all kinds of stuff. So there's that. The trick to this guy is getting it closed. Oh, made that look super easy, so I'll put that aside. So I noticed as I was going through everything that my solar panel, vented the battery, and it must have vented the last time we went out, so that is no longer useful to me. So I also picked this up on Amazon. I think it was around $8 about 4 years ago, and I've used it constantly. So the fact that this thing lived up to such the fact that this thing lived up for so long, that so many adventures and extreme sports that we've done, climbing, caving, swimming, it's held up. So kudos to them. The knife here, knife's a knife is a knife, has paracord, solid tang, made by Redhead. Never really heard of them, but I've had it for a long time, so no complaints there. Cooking pot. Well, the cooking pot's a cooking pot. Now, I am curious to see if this is Advil in here. It could be anything at this point. Oh, I believe it is multiple things, so let's take a look. Oh, yes. So I have a striker pad in a sealed bag. I used the wife's hair straightener, don't tell her, to seal this bag up. Keep that nice and dry. We have a couple matches and some Advil. So yeah, that's what that is. And it is waterproof, so that's good. I've also picked this up on Amazon many years ago. Goes everywhere I go. Perfect. We don't need to cover the salt. Everyone knows what salt is. I would hope you know what this is. So I've gone through multiple ferro rods. Woods Canada is not horrible, but I find the cheaper ones to work better. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me. But I'm kind of retiring those now as a fire starter. I'm trying to learn bow drills and friction fires and everything else. I can do it, but I want to master it. Some cotton, compressed cardboard with some candle wax, gauze. You never know. So usually when I pack a bag for a trip, I tend to pack them all the same. So whenever I'm leading a trip with groups of people, I go through each bag before the trip and make sure everyone's got similar stuff. That way, if someone loses a pack or gets separated from the group, they have what they need. And I'm not talking like a day trip. I mean multiple day trips. You never know. You don't want one guy to be responsible for food, and the guy with the food is the guy who goes missing or gets hurt. You never know. So we'll open up this guy. We got sugar, coffee, some whitener, tea bags, and a watertight container. This little stir stick that I made years ago. It's been through a lot. A pen, my screwdriver. Now, let's skip the rest of this stuff. You all know what power banks and saws are like. Let's get on to this guy. So I purchased this guy a while back as a kit. And my brother and I slapped it together, and we use this guy for caves. So we'll go on a hike scout out an area. If we find something that is either too sketchy or too hard to get through, we don't want to waste our time and energy crawling through a hole in the ground to find out that it's just a hole in the ground. We send this guy in. Now, I still have to work out a few bugs. I do have to do a few modifications. As you can see, the lights are flashing underneath because this sensor snapped off. Now, I'm not technically inclined when it comes to robotics. I'm not a professional. So I am learning as I go. But, I mean, it's done the trick. The steering's a little off. I do have to adjust some of the motors. It tends to want to go to the right all the time. Camera quality is not the greatest. But what I do is I attach 2 flashlights here and send it in. I do have night vision cameras that I do want to install on this guy, but I just don't have the time to get to it. So yeah, that's that. Now, we do a lot of caving. We are not experts. It is very dangerous. So be very careful when doing it. In fact, I recommend you do not do it alone, and do not do it without someone who knows the area and or the cave you are exploring. It can be extremely dangerous. If you're not a fan of large spiders, then I definitely recommend you avoid it at all costs. Last thing you want to do is be under the ground surrounded by rocks the size of school buses and panic because you see a spider. I've actually experienced it in Collingwood. It is not fun and not safe. Oh, sorry, I'm still trying to finish my morning coffee here. So yeah, that's going to be our quick gear review. I wouldn't really say gear, let's say a breakdown. A quick gear breakdown for my day bag. This does change depending on the trip, like I said. So I excluded all my water and my food because that's different for every trip. I've excluded clothing, a couple other things. This is just what's always in my bag, no matter where we're going. Right? That's why the Beretta is not here. Because that's a very rare thing that you see in my bag. I very rarely take that out. Yeah, I mainly use it for the backyard, honestly. Coyotes, keep them away from my chickens, the whole 9 yards. So, yeah, that's our video. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks.